Prime Minister, Honorable Peter O'Neill, and of course our Minister for National Planning and Monitoring, Honorable Richard Maru, who is in fact the host of this planning summit, the Governor for Morobe, and the good people of Morobe. I also acknowledge the former Governor, who is also with us, and of course the Lord Mayor of Lae City and the people of Lae City. Members of Parliament, also acknowledge those ministers who will be joining us after they see the departure of the Prime Minister. Also acknowledge my colleagues, the department heads, and also the constitutional office holders. Also acknowledge the presence of our friends from the development partners. Also see members of the diplomatic corps, the Excellency, the New Zealand High Commissioner. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Also acknowledge the civil society, members of the civil society and NGOs. And ladies and gentlemen, firstly, I want to thank the Prime Minister for his opening speech, which he delivered just a few minutes ago. I think the Prime Minister clearly outlined the vision and aspiration of his government in terms of the development agenda, where the government envisaged taking the country forward in the term of this Parliament. Equally, the Prime Minister also talked about many of the challenges that we face today and those that we will continue to face in months and years ahead of us. The key message to us from the Prime Minister and also the Governor for Morobe and the host minister was very simple. Opportunities before us to create a better Papua New Guinea for us and the future. Today's summit, I believe, is pivotal in achieving this objective. For that, I must thank our good minister, the Minister for National Planning and Monitoring, Honorable Richard Maru, for bringing us together, the important stakeholders. Not just to talk, but talk frankly and honestly and openly about the challenges that we face and how we can collectively design and formulate the medium-term development plan for the next 5 years. I strongly believe that collective approach to planning and formulation of the medium-term development strategy or other plan is vital, because the next phase, which is the delivery and implementation, can be easy and effective. When stakeholders are not involved in the design and formulation of any plan, the delivery, the implementation phase becomes a struggle. In many instances, the plan fails and objectives are not met. We have seen many good plans in the past, very well on paper, but have failed because important stakeholders were left out and it lacked the ownership at the implementation stage. This government has learned from the past experience and made its priority to involve stakeholders in all facets of our planning, formulation, and implementation of government development plan. We have witnessed the result of this, the successful delivery of government development plans in the last 5 years. The testimony of this is the Alato Accord, which Prime Minister has spoken about. This was put together by a group of our leaders well before the formation of the government in 2012. I can say that 95% of the government's priority under the Alato Accord 1 was delivered. This is a remarkable result. I can say it's unprecedented in the political history of our country. This has come about as a result of everybody, including our leaders, at the national and sub-national level, taking ownership and providing the leadership. And today, you can see great transformation in some of the remotest areas, places like Telefomen, Isaki and Minamia, few others up in Kandem, so many places because of the ownership by leaders and the community, but driving the Alato Accord priorities. The medium-term development strategy, which will be developed from this consultation, will surely become the centerpiece of our social, economic growth and development of our country. Minister, you have asked me to speak on the theme, the essential role of public service in driving inclusive economic growth. The public service, to me, includes the SOEs, the state-owned enterprises. I'm talking about telecom, talking about PNG Power, talking about postal services, talking about Edorano. These are an essential part of the public service. And we public service, are very vital to the agenda that we will be talking since today and tomorrow. Before I explain the role of the public servants,